Yo, what is up YouTube? James Baek here, coach of the Jubilife Piplups in the WBE, and we're going to be going over a team builder for the week 1 match that I have. The Jubilife Piplups are going to be facing off against the, I believe it's the Baton Rouge Butterfrees. Oh wait, is that, oh that might be Rogue. Yeah, I think that's Rogue. Baton Rouge Butterfrees. Okay, so I'm not really used to this team builder videos, so yeah, we'll just go over the team that I have and what I chose for it. Let me go over their team. I'm going to read it out loud because I have it on my phone. So this coach of the Baton Rouge Butterfrees is THATSAplusONE, Philip Wingett. If you don't know, he's actually a fellow VGC content creator. You can go check him out. I'll put the links in the description down below. But yeah, so we're going to be starting off our singles draft league by facing a VGC player. I thought I was supposed to be getting away from VGC. Guess not. But yeah, we have our current setup. So his team consists of Tyranitar, Kingdra, Mimikyu, Politoed, Decidueye, Zoroark, Boltund, Dreadnought, Phalanx, Butterfree, and Pikachu. So we got some interesting Pokemon choices, but mainly what I can see there is a rain team. And for my team, if you don't know what my team is Corviknight, Conkeldurr, Rotom-Wash, Amoonguss, Umbreon, Rhyperior, Raboot, Dhelmise, Frostlass, Clefairy, and Torcat. So we're going up against a rain team, a rain center team, and I wasn't supposed to play weather. I signed up for a singles draft league. Why am I playing rain? What is this, VGC? But yeah. So we're facing a rain team. I don't think I have the worst matchup, but it is kind of annoying because he's got 2 Swift abusers. And they do really well against my team in general, I think. So I ended up prepping this team. I've been working on it probably like for a couple of days now of like what I really want to focus on and what kind of Pokemon I think. So what I noticed about his draft is I think he should it's very fast and offensive. But the thing is, since my team is pretty slow for the most part, especially since the Pokemon I'm going to be leaving behind are my fastest ones because they're the frail ones that get outsped by Swift abusers, could just knock me out. I think I'm going to leave those behind and focus on the bulkier core for this week 1 because rain is something that is pretty threatening to me, especially with Swift Swim already abusing his speed stat. And the thing is, I think he's going to go bulky Swift Swim users. I think the Kingdra and the Dreadnought probably going to be like max HP. They might not be max HP. They might have some speed. Maybe he's afraid of a Choice Scarf user on my team, which I don't really have much to abuse, especially since Frostlass doesn't get freeze dry. So I don't think he's going to run too much speed, but I could definitely see like having some. But I definitely feel like he's going to go bulky on those Pokemon with probably trying to max out their offensive capabilities. So yeah, so I'm definitely seeing what I predict from his draft to come into the battle 100%. I think it's going to be Politoed, Kingdra, and Dreadnought. I think Dreadnought's just super threatening to my team in general. Even if I have double grass, if he has Sword Stance on Dreadnought, since Dreadnought gets Sword Stance, oh boy, +2 Dreadnought on the rain, if it has Life Orb, can just do so much damage. So I do not think it's worth it for me specifically. So I'm like, okay, what can I exactly bring to this? Because I'm going to have to go with a more defensive playstyle. And I do have like quite a few defensive options. I do expect him to bring the rain mode. And then the last are kind of up in the air. So I don't expect him to bring Tyranitar. I don't think Tyranitar is that good against my team. It also disrupts his weather, so I don't think he would bring Tyranitar at all, especially since I got like quite a few Pokemon that deal with Tyranitar pretty effectively. So I'm seeing it left on the bench. I think Mimikyu could definitely be brought. I'm actually very scared of Mimikyu, so it's a Pokemon I do expect him to bring. I think Rain Mimikyu is like the most likely. Then the last couple are kind of like up in the air. He has the Decidueye, which I could see him bring. I could also see him not bring, but I gotta also respect it. Zoroark, I kind of expect this Pokemon to be brought actually, because I think there are some bluffing capabilities that could be like really good. He might try to like knock off some of my key items, so I'm gonna have to be really careful because I do expect Zoroark, and Zoroark is gonna be one heck of a frustrating Pokemon, especially since like it has pretty good coverage against most of my team. It has Focus Blast for Umbreon, it has Flamethrower for the Corviknight, although if you're setting up Rain, he might not go for Flamethrower, but definitely an option. So, and again, knockoff is just super annoying because all my items are pretty crucial in this game. So yeah. And then we have Boltund. I honestly don't expect Boltund to be brought. I could see it, but I really don't expect it because I don't like Boltund's coverage. It's just, I don't think it's that great of a Pokemon, and I don't think it's necessary. Phalanx, I am a bit scared of Phalanx because I think Phalanx can sweep. It's got good enough coverage to the rest of my team where I do think he might actually bring it. So I do have to be worried about that Pokemon because a properly swept Phalanx can also destroy my team. So I got to be careful about Phalanx. Butterfree, I could see it. I have double grass. I do have Corviknight though, which is like a pretty big wall to the options that Butterfree can. I think Butterfree gets Tinted Lens, so that could be an option, but I think Corviknight should still be able to wall it. And I do have the Rotom-Wash that I am going to bring, and I am going to showcase like my sets. So yeah, I do think Rotom-Wash plus Corviknight can handle it effectively. Then there's Pikachu, and I can see Pikachu being brought. I don't think it's that worrisome because I do have a defensive Amoonguss. I do have Mach Punch on Conkeldurr, which is going to do a lot. In fact, it does so much damage actually with Conkeldurr, to where if I can get like any bit of chip damage onto the Pikachu, it's going to go down to my Mach Punch. So yeah, let's get into the team builder. So what I started the core around is the Amoonguss, and I decided Amoonguss was super good as a pivot. Regenerate is going to be super good in this matchup. I think it's a really solid Pokemon. If you want to know what my nicknames are based off, they are based off the anime Demon Slayer because the new movie's coming out, and I've been really listening to that new song by Lisa, and it's been incredible. So if you're wondering about the nicknames, that's why. I chose Assault Vest for the Amoonguss because I feel like I'm going to use Amoonguss. Like, Amoonguss could pivot into two Pokemon, and that's the Rain Abusers, right? It's going to be the Kingdra and the Dreadnought. So I felt like Amoonguss was better to deal with the Kingdra more than anything because I'm worried about the Kingdra. I feel like he's definitely going to bring either Life Orb or Specs, but I could also see him running Substitute on his team since Amoonguss is obviously a common Spore user. I could run Sun Spore on it, so I definitely feel like Substitute could be brought here. So the three main options I think are Life Orb, Choice Specs, or some kind of Substitute variant. So if I can't get Spores or Sun Spores off, I'm gonna go Assault Vest because like it allows me to tank the Kingdra's attacks better. So yeah, I chose Assault Vest because I think it just is able to sponge up the Kingdra's hit very effectively. It's a good switch into Amoonguss as not Amoonguss, into his Politoed. Also like Clear Smog is just really good, I think, against Stats' team in general because they're more setup oriented. I think it does really well against Phalanx potentially, and can wall a special Pikachu or a special Zoroark if they are brought. I do have to be a little bit careful, but Amoonguss can definitely sponge up one attack and get like attack off with Clear Smog to, you know, put them back in neutral, or a strong Sludge Bomb or Giga Drain for a bit of recovery, and then we switch out Regenerator. So the EV spread I have 236 HP, 20 defense, 116 special attack, 132 special defense, and 4 speed with a calm nature. The HP and the special defense EVs allow it to live 2 Life Orb Hurricanes from Kingdra 100% of the time, assuming that there's no 30% confusion, then 30% chance to hit. But overall, I felt like if he's Life Orb, I can start wearing him down. Overall, he only has one Wish Passer in Pikachu, and Pikachu's not really a good Wish Passer because it's very frail, so I'm not really that worried about him Wish Passing. So if he's Life Orb, he's going to take a lot of passive damage every time he goes for a hit. And yeah, the special attack EVs allow my Amoonguss, if it is max HP Kingdra he brings, I have unless I get the lowest roll possible on Giga Drain, I am always able to break a Substitute, which I think is really clutch. So yeah, and then I have like leftovers defense EVs in case the Phalanx is brought here, and then 4 speed, because why not? There's no Trick Room on this team. I am pretty sure Amoonguss is going to be slower than everything because he's got pretty much fast Pokemon. What's the slowest Pokemon on his team? I think it's like Tyranitar, which I don't think is going to be brought. And then the second slowest thing is like base 70, I think, with like, or 74 with Dreadnought, unless Phalanx is slower, but I think it's 75. Actually, I think Butterfree 70, but you get my point. Amoonguss is not outspeeding anything, so it doesn't matter where I put those EVs. Is always going to be slower pretty much, unless he runs Iron Ball, which I really doubt it. So yeah, Amoonguss's job here on this team is to deal with the Kingdra. Specifically, I want a good Kingdra switching because, again, Kingdra is very scary to the rest of my team. And I thought this Amoonguss does really a good job of handling the Kingdras very well because, you know, it's able to wall at least, it can switch into at least 2 Hurricanes, unless it's Choice Specs. If it's Choice Specs though, and in their Choice Specs Hurricane, I could always go safely into my Corviknight or my Umbreon, and I get to find out that they're specs for the entire game, which means I can handle it later according to plan. Moveset, again, Giga Drain, Sludge Bomb, I felt like was pretty clear. I wanted Sludge Bomb in case more damage, in case he does bring Substitute Mons. I could definitely see Substitute on, for instance, the Zoroark or the Phalanx, and I definitely want Sludge Bomb to hear that. Clear Smog, he has a lot of setup moms like Mimikyu and Zork and Dreadnought. Although I'd hit Dreadnought with Giga Drain anyway, but you get my point. I wanted the Clear Smog just to hit the setup Pokemon, which I think is pretty good for the most part. And then Foul Play. I just chose Foul Play because Foul Play can shut down potential Mimikyu if it comes down to that situation. Decidueye, if he thinks he could Swords Dance up on me. If he does decide to run Swords Dance, Decidueye. A Nasty Plot could be a little bit scary. I am a little bit worried about Nasty Plot Decidueye if he decides to bring it, but I don't think he's going to bring Decidueye personally. And yeah, I think Foul Play was just a good filler move because there wasn't really much anything I really needed to hit. So yeah, that's the Amoonguss I decided to bring. Main job of the team, again, going to be handling the... It's going to be mainly going to be handling the Kingdra on the team, being a defensive pivot, chipping away, and denying any setup. Also, if you're wondering, I am going to be uploading this video after I've had my game with THATSAplusONE. So if you're wondering about like if you can see, do not worry. This video will only be uploaded after the set is finished. So the game already happened if you're watching this, and this is me before the match happened. So okay. Second Pokemon I chose was Conkeldurr, and I felt Conkeldurr was pretty good against this team. Obviously, it's really good against Tyranitar. That's probably not going to be brought if I'm being real. Can hit Zoroark with Mach Punch, which probably just OHKOs it actually with the Black Belt Iron Fist. I'm actually going to do calcs on that a bit later. But overall, I wanted Conkeldurr, and I'm running a very interesting set, I feel like, on this Conkeldurr. I'm going to be running Drain Punch, Mach Punch, Knockoff, and Substitute with the Black Belt and Iron Fist. 196 HP EVs, 156 attack EVs, 12 defense EVs, 140 special defense EVs, and 4 speed EVs with an adamant nature. So the reason I chose Conkeldurr, again, it's really good against Tyranitar. Mach Punch is really good, especially since Dreadnought is a Pokemon I'm super worried about. Zoroark is another Pokemon I'm really worried about. Having that Mach Punch option, I think, is just really solid for cleanup endgame as well. And yeah, it does a lot to Pikachu. Again, I just really want to handle that Dreadnought because I think Dreadnought is probably one of the biggest threats to my team, I think. And overall, like, if I can get his team like really low, Conkeldurr can sweep in the end game with the Black Belt Iron Fist. You might be wondering, why am I going Black Belt Iron Fist? So I had a few ideas. I was actually thinking of using the utility umbrella with Conkeldurr. If you don't know what that item is, the utility umbrella basically just ignores like the weather effects of sun and rain. So like I wouldn't be taking like the boost from water type moves with the rain up, which I thought could have been good because I actually EV this Conkeldurr to live like Kingdra's hits. The EV spread allows it to live Choice Specs Draco Meteor, which I felt like was very, very nice, although I don't expect it to come into play. I think it's just good in general. It's also good to have like a bulky Conkeldurr because again, his team, I think he could run extra sensory on Zoroark. I don't think it gets psychic. I'm gonna double check on that later, but I don't think it does. And also like just being able to sponge up attacks from Pikachu if necessary and heal back with Drain Punch is really nice. I want my Substitute because in case he does have like Zoroark out, for instance, next to like Tyranitar, or if he brings it, or maybe Dreadnought low, I could go for Substitute, and basically Conkeldurr behind the sub could be super threatening to him. Like I could get Drain Punch, Mach Punch off. I felt like getting up a free Substitute basically makes him waste turns, which I think could be really cool because I could knock off an item by that time without hard committing to knock off, or I could go for Drain Punch in the situation. So and get my HP back with the Drain Punch. So I felt like it might not be the best pick to have Substitute. I definitely was looking at other moves. I was looking at Bulk Up, but I felt like I'd rather have Substitute in case he's trying to like bluff Zoroark, because I could definitely see Zoroark being bluffed. Yeah, so I felt like Substitute was better. Bulk Up could be a thing. I didn't want Defog, and yeah, like all the coverage options. Like the only other set I was thinking about actually was like Power Punch, because I thought Power Punch could actually be pretty cool. Because Power Punch could allow my Conkeldurr to actually like Power Punch into a +1 Mach Punch could just do a ton of work, which was an option I felt like. But overall, I felt like Mimikyu was going to deny that, and I'm not exactly sure how well I would be able to execute that. So I just decided to go Substitute because I think like I could stall out a Rain turn too. I think that's the big important thing. Because yeah, I could go for like raw knockoff Drain Punch, and you're wondering why do you have Substitute? I think it's mainly for stalling out the Rain turns. In case they do decide to go with like, if they're trying to switch into Conkeldurr or switch out into a more defensive mon, I could Substitute and try to stall out some Rain turns, which I think is like the main reason why I want to Substitute. was to sell out the rain turn. So yeah, that's gonna be the Conkeldurr. Lives choice specs again from Draco Meteor from Kingdra. I didn't need all the attack investment, I felt like, because it didn't get any like specific KOs, or if they were specific KOs, those were on like 4 HP. So you know, I don't expect him to bring 4 HP mons mostly. I think they're going to be pretty bulky in general, invested wise, because again, speed isn't really that big against me. So I think he's going to run bulky, so I might as well like take advantage of like living attacks in case it does come down to situations and get the healing back. So yeah, that is the Conkeldurr set. Okay, so my third pick for the matchup was Rotom-Wash, and I felt like Rotom-Wash was pretty good. Obviously, I'm going to bring the electric type against this rain team, and I felt like Rotom-Wash was overall super solid against it. I decided to go for a Choice Scarf variant. I was thinking of going a bulky one anyway, but I felt like I was too bulky, and I felt like, you know, I was lacking the speed, because even though I'm probably not going to outspeed his Swift Swim users, if he does decide to go like max HP on Dreadnought, for instance, I can actually outspeed it with Rotom-Wash. Because if he has no speed investment, I do outspeed that. I also want to outspeed Phalanx if he goes Adamant, because I'm very confident he would go Adamant over Jolly in this case. And I felt like, oh, maybe I could go like a fast Rotom in case like it gets a bit too threatening and I need to do damage, because how no retreat works, it can only be used once, and I think that's the only speed increase he would probably go for with the team. He could run Sword Stance on it too, but I think definitely I see no retreat Sword Stance more than like agility, which I don't remember if it does. But overall, I think that having a Rotom that's faster and, you know, can paralyze it or Volt Switch around can be really nice, especially since Phalanx doesn't have the best special defense in the world. So decided to go with the Choice Scarf Rotom-Wash. Again, I'm expecting the Dreadnought to probably be bulky as well as the Kingdra. So if they don't have speed on the Dreadnought, I do outspeed it, which is very, very crucial. And I can knock out Dreadnought and with Thunder actually. And I think Thunder is really cool because again, I have 30% chance to para his team. So getting some paras could be really nice here, especially since he's giving me the rain. I could go for Thunder. And if I can go for Thunder, 30% chance para. I could get para on the Kingdra, for instance. I could get a para on Politoed. I could get, you know, I guess spread paras everywhere. The only thing I can't really para is the electric types, and Pikachu's the one of the reasons why I think he might bring the Pikachu is because of Lightning Rod. Overall, he doesn't have like an electric resist either. The only immunities or the resist are Decidueye and Pikachu. Everything gets swept by Thunder basically from my Rotom, other than Tyranitar, which again I don't think he's bringing. So I thought, okay, I could use his own rain against him with Thunder, and then I thought, okay, if he doesn't have rain up, I could go Discharge. Same chance to para is 30%, so I'm gonna go for it. I could go for Thunderbolt, but I don't see a point. I think I'm gonna go for Discharge or Thunder. I don't think the extra damage really matters. It might matter in like a calc against Dreadnought, but overall I felt like it's just super solid. Hydro Pump, pretty standard. Just allows me to get extra damage on the Tyranitar. I think you're also forced to run Hydro Pump on Rotom-Wash regardless, so I think it's fine. It also hits Pikachu, probably knocks it out because Pikachu is very frail, so I'm okay with that. This allows me to outspeed Pikachu too, which is nice, so it can't go for like knockoff. Assuming I hit, I can get a Hydro Pump and KO it, which can be clutch. And then Volt Switch for the momentum. I think getting momentum against this team is really huge, especially with the Volt Switch. I can use it to save my Rotom, and then it can come back and like again I could chip away the Phalanx with the Rotom Volt Switching around and a bunch of his other things. I could break the skies on Mimikyu with the Volt Switch if I had to pivot using the Rotom-Wash, for instance. And overall, I think like Choice Scarf Rotom's a really strong pick against this team overall. The EV spread again allows it to outspeed Adamant Phalanx by 1 point. The 204 special attack I think was like leftover. 124 HP allows me to live, +4 Life Orb Shadow Seek from Mimikyu because I am worried about that Pokemon. I wanted some bulk. I think it gets a little bit extra, so I have a good chance to live, I think, Stealth Rocks into the or Stealth Rock damage into the Shadow Sneak, so that's why I wanted a little bit extra bulk and remainder special attack to do as much damage as possible. And I'm not really like, yeah, that's pretty much straightforward. I felt like I'm really relying on this Rotom-Wash. I think it's going to be a huge part, and I really hope I don't lose it early on. So yeah, I do think Rotom-Wash has a really strong role against the upcoming match. Next we got Tanjiro the Corviknight with leftovers and pressure. This is the first time I'm actually using this set, and this is the first time I'm using the set. We got one difference, and that's the move choice here. So I'm running Iron Head, U-Turn, Roost, Iron Defense with max HP, 4 attack, 244 defense, 4 special defense, and 4 speed, Impish Nature. Again, I don't think the speed really matters, but hey, I can get pivoting. And yeah, so I decided to go Leftovers Corviknight because I think Leftovers Corviknight, you know, it's pretty solid against the mons I want to pick. I was debating heavily on this. So this Corviknight kind of like changed. I was originally going to run more especially defensive. I think it was to deal with Kingdra a little bit better, as well as the Politoed, and potentially I was a bit worried about Zoroark. I think Zoroark was the main one, yeah, because my original spread, I originally was going to run like a Careful Corviknight to live like +2 flamethrower from the Zoroark, and then I decided probably not worth it because I felt like Mimikyu again was just too big of a problem. I see Mimikyu as way too big of a problem, so I decided, hey, you know what? I'm gonna run a physically defensive Corviknight because I could probably want to run something specially defensive to deal with the other threats. I have a Self-Esteem Amoonguss for Kingdra. That's gonna be my main pivot against Kingdra. I'm gonna have to find a way against the Zoroark because I am still worried about Zoroark in general with my team. But overall, I think I could play around him if U-turn pivoting, Amoonguss, Assault Vest if it's special, and Conkeldurr again with Mach Punch can threaten it. If he's a Swords Dance set with it, the Conkeldurr is going to be really good. So it's just really depending on how much momentum I'm going to get. And I think that's kind of the thing. My team's mainly a balanced team, and I feel like as long as I'm able to get momentum and keep it up, I should be fine against it. Of course, that's assuming I can make the plays, because again, this is my first time I'm playing really singles at all since Generation 6, kind of seriously. But yeah, so we'll go Iron Defense, U-turn, Roost, and Iron Defense. Did I say Iron Defense twice or just the Iron Head? You know what I mean. So the reason I chose the Iron Defense is because of the fact that, okay, so I had Defog originally on the Corviknight, but the only Pokemon that gets hazards really on this team is going to be the Dreadnought, and I really just don't expect him to bring Stealth Rocks on the Dreadnought personally. I could see him bring Stealth Rocks on Dreadnought, but if he's gonna go Stealth Rocks with Dreadnought, I'm not even gonna switch to the Corviknight anyway as the first response. My first response is gonna be Dhelmise. So I thought, okay, I don't need Defog on this team because there's one hazard removal, and I'm switching into another mon anyway. So I'm probably not even gonna get the Defog off at Corviknight. So I'm like, okay, what can I exactly put on here? Now there were a few options I was thinking of. Brave Bird for the Decidueye I think could have been nice. It could have hit Phalanx as well, but I was a little bit worried about taking too much damage from Phalanx. So I'm like, okay, I think I could go Iron Defense because it allows me to boost up more than the Phalanx can, or at the same rate if it goes for Sword Stance. And this allows me to basically wall out the Phalanx's close combats, which could be really clutch because like Phalanx doesn't really get much moves that can really hit Corviknight after like close combat is lost with the pressure. So I thought, okay, I can run Iron Defense, stall it out a little bit, and then by roosting, Iron Defensing, and then like I could just chip away with Iron Head. And the reason I want to go physical defense, I originally didn't have Iron Defense here. If you're wondering why the spread is like this, is because I was really worried about Mimikyu. So what this spread does is allows me to high roll. I live the +4 Life Orb Phantom Force from Mimikyu. It might be a little bit a lot, but I felt like that could definitely be a thing there if he Sword Senses a bunch with the Disguise. So I felt like, okay, it might be better actually just to go for like Iron Defense myself. It might just be better to have bulky in general because like again, I think Mimikyu is a huge problem. The attack investment didn't really change much because I need a lot of attack to knock out Mimikyu, but if I don't let the Phantom Force in the first place, it's not worth it. So felt like it was just worth it to have max defense. Again, Iron Defense was kind of bad at the last minute, as I think it can help with Mimikyu for sure, which is why I really like it for the Mimikyu, and specifically it's just mainly to handle the Phalanx because this is going to be probably one of my pivots in the Phalanx in case Amoonguss isn't able to survive, because I know Phalanx does get Zen Headbutt, which is why I'm a little bit concerned of leaving it up to Amoonguss. So having a backup answer to Phalanx and my main check to Mimikyu I think is super solid here. It's also an okay check to the Decidueye if it's Sword Stance. If it's Nasty Plot, that's the only one I'm really worried about. Again, I don't really expect it here. And yeah, this Pokemon has only really a few roles. Handle Butterfree if it's broad. I'm not sure if it is going to be. I wouldn't be surprised. It can deal with the Mimikyu as well as potentially start just U-turning for momentum, and Iron Defense the Phalanx. Basically, those are the things. Phalanx, Mimikyu, and Butterfree. This is what this Pokemon's supposed to check. And I feel like this set is going to do really well against it. All right, fifth pick we have is Umbreon, and I think Umbreon can do some work. Now I got lazy with the spread, but there's a specific reason for it, and it's only got one rule really, which is supposed to be pivoting around some of the stuff, as well as being able to go. It's basically just being able to pivot around. I think is really cool with like Wish Baton Pass support. Again, pivoting is really important against this team, especially against the rain, because like again, there's so many Pokemon that are threatening that, you know, if I get it wrong, I could be screwed. So having Baton Pass getting me slow momentum is really nice. Passing that Wish could be really crucial, especially to like my Rotom-Wash, Conkeldurr. If my Corviknight and Amoonguss get low, Wish is very useful. Foul Play again. This is actually going to be my main answer to Decidueye, as Foul Play should do a lot. If it's special Decidueye, shouldn't really have too much to deal with Umbreon anyway. Umbreon should be able to tank at least, you know, maybe one or two, and then Foul Play should be able to do a lot. The main reason I wanted this Umbreon was actually because of a backup answer to Kingdra if necessary. I ran Sunny Day on it for the rain reason. I chose Sunny Day. So Sunny Day is an interesting move here. So there are two moves I was debating about: Protect and Sunny Day. Protect actually does serve a purpose, because if it is Life Orb Kingdra, or I think even Specs, if I Protect and get 2 recoveries from leftovers, I'm actually able to survive 2 Hydro Pumps in the rain. So that was an option, but I was like, okay, because I'm pivoting in Amoonguss anyway, what could I really do? And I was like, okay, maybe I should Sunny Day, because I'm not expecting Rain Dance on his bring. So I'm thinking, oh, maybe I'll go Sunny Day. The reason I'll go Sunny Day here is because if his rain setter is Politoed, which I'm assuming is going to be Damp Rock, because he's probably going to bring Dreadnought and Kingdra against me, and I think he wants all the rain turns. So I'm thinking it's going to be Damp Rock. Like, I really can't see other sets, but that's the main one I'm thinking of. Like, okay, if he's forced to bring out the Politoed, I can Sunny Day. That screws over like 3 members of his team. He's going to have to set up rain. I could bait out the Politoed, Baton Pass, and bring out something like Rotom for Voltage pivoting, or I could get maybe some healing. And I felt like Sunny Day just forces certain situations, which I think is like really cool, because I think like this Umbreon is supposed to force like bad switches on his side with the Sunny Day, Foul Play pressure, and then Baton Pass into the other mods, which is what the key is able to sponge up attacks with his special defense. And overall, I think it's going to be really solid. I run Inner Focus here in case he decides to run Rock Slide on the Dreadnought, which I really don't think so. I think Synchronize could be Thing, but like he doesn't really have much status mods to begin with. Maybe he burns me, but I don't think it's like that bad. And besides, I'd rather get the para off than the burn, so decided to go Inner Focus here. And yeah, overall, I think this Umbreon set, simple. It's 252 HP, 4 defense, max special defense, and sassy nature with 0 speed IVs for the slow Baton Pass. I don't think he's going to bring anything that's slower than the Umbreon, but yeah, that's basically this Umbreon. Its role is to force some bad situations, I feel like, and use as a pivot once again. Final Pokemon that I'm going to be bringing in the matchup is Dhelmise with the heavy duty boots. Steel Worker for the ability, Grassy Glide, Body Press, Anchor Shot, and Rapid Spin with 244 HP, 252 defense, and 12 special defense with an Impish nature. So this Dhelmise has one role, and that's to deal with the Dreadnought. So Dreadnought is a very scary Pokemon to my team. I don't know if he's running Crunch. I think I could definitely see Crunch, but the thing is, if he runs Crunch, it's only a little bit stronger, because he would run Swift Swim, right? He's not going to run Tough Jaws. So if he runs Crunch, he has a higher chance to KO me, but I'm hoping if he's going to run Crunch, he's not Life Orb. The main reason for this Dreadnought spread, this Dhelmise spread, is to deal with the Dreadnought, because Dreadnought's very scary. So I chose Grassy Glide over Power Up because I do not want to miss that crucial KO. I need this Pokemon to KO the Dreadnought possibly. And yeah, I think Grassy Glide is just really good because it is the it's the strongest, most accurate move that Dreadnought gets, base 100. Accuracy, good enough. 70 base power is fine enough to deal the job. I already did the calcs to guarantee Okos the Dreadnought because it's 4 times weak, even with no attack investment, because Dhelmise has base 131 attack anyway. It's pretty good. With Body Press, I chose Body Press since I'm running like max defense anyway on the Dreadnought. On the Dhelmise, I thought, okay, I can use Dhelmise to probably hit like hard against, maybe I could catch a Zoroark potentially on a switch, for instance, which is what I was considering. Like maybe I could use Dhelmise to bait out the Zoroark or Tyranitar. Don't think he's bringing Tyranitar, but mainly the Zoroark. Body Press it and just Oko it, which I felt like could be really, really good potentially. So yeah, having that body pressure is there. And yeah, I think it can just do a lot of work against those specifically. I didn't want to run Poltergeist, or I was thinking about Poltergeist, but I definitely wanted Anchor Shot because it hits Mimikyu as well as 100% accurate, and I could trap something in, which is really cool. Because like the thing about Anchor Shot is I think Datsa will know, or like players will know that Anchor Shot's a thing, right? So they want to switch in a Pokemon that can actually like handle the Dhelmise, because if they get trapped in with like a Pokemon that doesn't do much damage to Dhelmise, they're just losing that Pokemon, right? So I thought, okay, so I can bait out the Pokemon that threaten the Dhelmise instead of pivots, because Anchor Shot can screw that over. And you know, he probably wants to switch into Mimikyu on an Anchor Shot because it breaks the disguise, so he might switch into one of his dark types, and that allows me to body press basically, because I don't think he would go hard into the ghost types that he has. So I thought, okay, maybe he goes dark types, because Dhelmise doesn't get really other fighting moves other than body press, and they might not expect it. So I'm like, okay, I'm gonna run body press here so I can deal with the Zoroark potentially. I could catch it. Tyranitar once again, if he decides to bring it, if he thinks this Pokemon's that threatening, but I don't think it's going to. And yeah, I felt like overall it can do a lot of damage since I'm running max defense anyway. Anchor Shot again, as I wanted to hit the Mimikyu, because I think Mimikyu is really important. And again, trapping wise, if I can trap a Pokemon that doesn't do much to Dhelmise, really good situation for me. Also gets to stab a Steel Worker, and Rapid Spin, because again, I'm expecting I don't expect Dreadnought to bring Stealth Rock hazards, but if he does, I want Rapid Spin, because this is going to be my prime switch anyway. I'm thinking he's going to Sword Stance with Dreadnought, and if he spends his time going for the Stealth Rocks, I'm going to just Rapid Spin. I'll just Rapid Spin, and if he Sword Stance, I'm going to go straight for the KO with Grassy Glide. So I feel like no matter what, like this Pokemon's just mainly for that Dreadnought. Again, very, very tough Pokemon for my team to handle. And if you're wondering what the EV spread does, because it actually does have a certain role, it's good. If he is max attack with Life Orb on the Dreadnought, I have over 50% chance to live the Stone Edge at +2 with the Life Orb. And I'm running the heavy duty boots in case he does run Stealth Rock Sword Stance, which I kind of doubting, but you know, it is a potential option. So, and there wasn't really like an item I was going to really pick. I was thinking about running Leftovers, but that's 3 Leftovers users, and I thought like how heavy duty boots could actually like matter in this situation, because it could mean like a big change in like the calcs, and that would allow Stone Edge to actually just OHKO me. So I thought heavy duty boost was solid, especially since I wish patch on Umbreon anyway, and I'm usually probably going to double out Dhelmise anyway. So yeah, that's going to be the entire team we're going to be bringing against THATSAplusONE in week 1 of the WBE against the Baton Rouge Butterfrees. If you did enjoy this, please leave a like down below, it helps out. And yeah, the matchup should be coming up Saturday, or I don't know if I'm uploading this Saturday, if I'm uploading this Friday. I'm pretty sure I'm uploading this Saturday, so you might be seeing it later today. So yeah, look forward to it. Otherwise, yeah. But yeah, I'm hoping to put on a good show. Again, this is my first draft league. This is my first real big singles battle in quite a while. I'm hoping for some good ones. This is definitely tough, and I know Datsa does have singles experience, definitely way more than me. So yeah, we'll see how this goes. I'm hoping to put on a good show. I'm hoping to maybe take that win, because I think the team's good enough to take a win, but he does definitely have some threats that I do have to watch out for. So again, I think it's going to be a lot about pivoting into those good spots, and I might have to make some hard reads here and there, because I think it's going to come down to some reads. If I'm playing too defensive and he catches on to that, it can get a little bit troublesome. But yeah, let me know if you think I have a chance against THATSAplusONE in the comments down below, and you'll see if you're right when the battle gets uploaded. But yeah, you can go check out Datsa's channel once again, listed down below, and you can check out the rest of my stuff if you're new to my channel and only found me after the WBE. I'll link my stuff down below, including obviously my VDC content that I mainly do on this channel. But yeah, that's gonna be pretty much it. Have a great day, people, and until we battle again, I'll catch y'all later.